Allah, and also dealing with parents, the capacity and assisting the oppressed, La ilaha illallah, and also dealing with people truthfully. We'll go on, about 7th week, other praiseworthy attributes, and again, each of these is a segment. So you'll deal with 30 segments, and then there'll be a couple few in each week. Fulfilling the promises, the examples of the Prophet ﷺ in that, family life, how children should be raised, and this, pay a lot of attention to this because it's of particular importance to Muslims in the world. Having uprightness, having a strong resolve to call to Allah, and raising children are some of the pillars that Muslims need in our present situation. And proper raising of children is one of the particular qualities of the school that Habib Umar narrates from, and they paid particular importance to raising their children and preserving their children, and particularly in their case, they were preserving prophetic qualities of rearing that they took from their grandfather and the Prophet ﷺ through their grandfathers back to the Prophet 'ﷺ. And we've heard stories by, for instance, Habib Umar's nephew, who's one of our Shaykh, about how his childhood was with his father. And Habib Muhammad, for instance, would carry Habib Umar or take Habib Umar as a small child at the end of the night for a Quran circle that they would read in one of the old masajid in Tarim. And Habib Umar might fall asleep, and then his father would say to take him home, and then on the way home he would wake up being carried and say he wants to be with his father and come back. And that was some of how he was reared, and raising them by teaching them the proper example, to the extent that La ilaha illallah, he was the last one actually who saw his father. So rearing of children, and also instilling good character in one's wife. That is how that particular chapter is titled, but you could also just translate that to the concern that any custodian has for those who he has been given a responsibility for their care. So, as the Prophet ﷺ said, all of you are custodians, all of you are shepherds, and all of you will be asked about your flock. So in the case of a head of state, he should have some concern for the character of his whole nation. In the case of a scholar or a Shaykh, for that of all of his students. In the case of a husband, for the people of his house, among them his wife and children. For the case of a wife, also the people of her house, the foremost of them her children, because the primary responsibility of the small children typically, but not in all cases, will fall on as the responsibility of the mother. And then also she should have concern for aiding the character of her husband as well. And then this should be the best response when directing and guiding the antagonist. And that is how to properly respond when in a debate, basically. If somebody is confronting one, for instance, with questions about the deen or what have you, a non-Muslim and so forth, what is the best way to respond? And Allah ordered us to say that which is best, or say that which is better, not just say that which is good, say that which is better. So Habib Umar will do with that there. And then the quality of lowering the gaze, which is not just lowering the gaze from the opposite gender, but from that which displeases Allah, and eventually, hopefully, for everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. And then brotherhood, gratitude, and dhikr, that is among the character traits of the believers. And La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And then also having good character, and how to inculcate good character, literally being colored or dyed by the character of Islam. So that's kind of an overview of what we will cover.